Hi Aries, here's a general look at your solar chart for October 2012, and the big news this month is that Saturn finally moves from your opposite sign, Libra, into a less challenging area of your solar chart. Wherever Saturn goes, it's challenging for us all, but to move out of the opposition angle, it means that it's less challenging. So Saturn's been there since late 2009, and she's going to be in the new area because she's a female energy, a very strict female energy. She's going to be in the new area until 2015. So no longer will there be such a lot of challenges in close relationships, working one-to-one, interacting one-to-one, with another, whether that's in a personal or professional sense. Instead, the limitation of Saturn will shift and begin testing your ability to meet certain commitments and honor certain contracts in a financial sense or a moral sense, or you know, is sort of like in a love relationship as well. It could be either or, hopefully not both. And over this long transit, you may be gradually developing a resource or a lifestyle independent of a partner, an associate, or an outside agency's control. And this ultimately will help you gain the independence and freedom for yourself in the, you know, whatever the chosen area is, or perhaps you don't even choose the area, but whatever the area is anyway. So nothing happens fast with Saturn, and it's usually a very, very slow process. This month, October 2012, it's not time for you to be going it alone, because the Sun happens to be in your opposite sign, Libra, where it is at this time every single year. So that's up until the 23rd, and the theme will be how to get the best out of your close relationships, whether they are personal ones, professional ones, fleeting ones, or long-term ones. And you and someone could be hitting it off at this time. Or if it's in a professional sort of a business way, you could be negotiating a deal, closing a deal. Maybe it's another type of alliance, like a family relationship, or a friendship, or some of you might be wanting to put things on a more formal footing in a love relationship. But however it is for you, there's a feeling of mutual interaction, and you may be depending on their contribution, their presence, their slant on things, because Mercury's there until the 5th. And obviously that goes both ways, and that's they'll be relying on you as well, and your slant on things, or your opinion, or in fact you could be maybe playing the go-between, or feeling as though you're pinging between two polarities. Or person A or person B, or whoever it is. Basically, you can't go forwards as successfully, I would say, on your own, which of course is your thing, Aries. And this vibration can give love relationships and friendships a boost, or at least put them center stage, put it that way. And now until the 5th, as I say, Mercury's in this area too, so communications, conversations, may be centered around a partnership, close relationship, one-to-one sort of interaction with others, collaborations that will be strongly highlighted. And as I say, you will benefit from hearing the other side's take on things, but also they will benefit from hearing your take on things. And even if you disagree with what the other side is saying, at least it will help you to clarify your own thinking. So it's all grist to your mill. And you yourself could be seen more as, you know, the one who's got the knowledge, the information, the one who is giving the guidance at this time. Then from the 5th, discussions and ideas may become more involved or emotional, and your thinking might get sort of muddied with kind of sensitive feelings. And that thinking may be including the financial aspects of a relationship, or factor in the financial aspects around property, possessions, any kind of possessions, and anything which you share with another, or you're planning to share with another, or over which you have joint responsibility, joint control, or you're thinking of having joint control. So that'll all be very much that sort of stuff on your mind, and it could be a time for taking confidential advice, but also it could be a very good time for giving confidential advice. But definitely sensing more than really logically thinking at this time where Mercury is. But be careful, because this is a very emotional area, and you know, your emotions might get in the way of clear, logical thinking. At this time you can feel quite passionate about something or someone, really sort of into it, and somebody might touch you quite deeply, but on the flip side, it's probably easier for someone to push your buttons as well, although it's probably easier for you to push somebody else's buttons too. So anyway, just trust yourself and try to avoid knee-jerk reactions. Now, luckily, things to make you smile won't be too far away. You'll probably listen to this in September anyway. So Venus has been in a nice area for you since September, and will continue on into the October until the 3rd. So just the very, very beginning. And some areas of your life, you may have been feeling more enthusiastic, you know, willing to take a risk, a gamble, a flying leap, which is kind of your thing, but also tempted to burn the candle at both ends, and just watch your step there and don't take too much of a risk. Just listen to that gut, because Mercury's in a very, very good position for that, for the rest of the month from the 5th. When Venus moves on the 3rd, then practical teamwork will be favourably highlighted. You and someone could really be able to do business together, or somebody's very much there to give you a helping hand. You'll probably be in a cooperative frame of mind, and you can be very productive. You know, you could be meeting somebody else's requirements, but they also could be striving to meet yours as well. So you could really, as I say, cover a lot of practical matters together, and get things fixed, or maintain stuff, or just get things organized in the way you want them organized on these very sort of practical levels. But also you're more likely to have a reasonable sort of interaction with co-workers, colleagues, anybody providing a service for you as well, including health providers, but also anybody that you are assisting. Socializing or even a romantic encounter could be centered around these kinds of environments. So there's likely to be help when you need it, and that help could be coming from a female as well. But even if it's not female, it's somebody that you feel quite close to, or you feel like you can get on with very well. Until the second week, in fact, it's just for the first week, Mars, your ruling planet, will be helping you to change gears, and you're processing inner hopes and fears, probably weighing things up a bit, but you tend to keep the lid on it. Finances and property or certain contracts and agreements could be an area where you have to tread carefully. And in other ways, there can be the feeling that you are under somebody's thumb, or you're suspecting somebody's trying to control things or manipulate things. It can be a bit like that. And it can also mean that somebody, on the flip side, somebody touches your feelings very deeply, and you really want to do the right thing here. There may be deeper feelings in a relationship, whether that's, you know, a platonic relationship or not. If it's not, then this can be quite a sizzly time for you from the 7th, before the 7th. And then from the 7th, Mars will be transiting an educational house, and you will be more hands-on, learning through doing, joining up the dots, maybe even researching something, definitely learning things you didn't know before. But also your physical energy will be needed to sort of push the envelope and get right outside of the problem or the routine box that you normally find yourself in. But definitely a time to be plunging into unfamiliar environments, shaking out the cobwebs, you know, getting out and about more, reaching further, as I say, pushing the envelope. And getting into a new area of interest, maybe sort of signing up for something or enrolling yourself in something where you can be in an environment maybe which is challenging, but it's strange to you and different to you, and you're learning from it. So and another way to do it would be taking a trip, or connecting maybe over the wires with a foreign culture, or with those who have a different area of interest to your normal stamping ground. So definitely a time for seeing possibilities, feeling that there's promise in the air, spreading your wings and getting out and about more. And Mars here can also translate as you looking into legal matters, seeing what your rights are on things maybe, but also it's to do with higher education as well. And sort of bigger communications across the board, sort of putting the word out into a wider area for whatever your reason would be. Now, Jupiter's long transit is expanding your world in the area of communications anyway. That's up until next June. So studies or creative self-expression are going to be an area through which you can blossom. You know, you can really expand and develop there. And also for some through relationships with siblings or soul brothers and sisters. And then from the 23rd, a partnership or another relationship could demand more sensitive handling, or it gets deeper, more involved, and maybe needs more serious commitment from you. But also you might be pondering and weighing things up as well. And that's it for October. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, you might like to listen to the forecast for those. If you're not on my website already, go there and you'll find in the writings what's going on with the slower moving outer planets, because everything I've said here needs to be said against that background. And I hope that's been informative and interesting for you, and I will see you the next time.